It's now my pleasure to introduce our 2014 recipient of the Champion of Human Services Award, Janet Gasparini. This award recognizes a champion who has displayed extraordinary leadership and made an exceptional contribution to human services. Anyone who knows Janet Gasparini knows of her tireless advocacy and for giving voice to those who often don't have one. Janet's passion, commitment, and unwavering integrity is inspirational. Janet doesn't back down. She keeps her eye on the end goal, that being giving opportunity where it doesn't exist and creating community where all can thrive. Janet has an impressive bio, which I'm not going to go through in its entirety, but I will say she is currently the Executive Director of the Social Planning Council of Sudbury. She is the former Chair of the Social Planning Council of Ontario and currently sits on the advisory board of the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives. Janet contributed to the establishment of social planning councils in Cochrane and Parry Sound and supported work in social planning councils in North Bay, Manitoulin, Sudbury, and Sault Ste. Marie. Through these efforts, Janet contributed to many community development initiatives, including poverty reduction, housing first, food security, climate change, civic engagement, social inclusion, early years development, and emergency funding. Janet was also a former municipal councillor in Sudbury and elected as a school board trustee. She has used all her positions and opportunities to make a big difference by building cross-sectoral relationships to solve tough problems. Janet is an inspiration and well-deserving of the Human Services Champion Award. Welcome, Janet, and on behalf of OMSA and the Board of Directors, we all thank you and offer our congratulations.
I'll hold on to that, and I'll move that down. Well, thank you very, very much. Wow. Just take it in for a minute. So I am clearly overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed when I got the telephone call. Thought they had the wrong number. You know, you're in your cell and, excuse me, you know, really? Me? It's been a joy. It has been an absolute joy to be engaged with folks like you and others in our communities. I have to tell you, I was running yesterday, and I always kind of think in my head about what I'll say. I never write it down. I'm almost wishing now I'd written it down. But I was running, and I was thinking about what would I say, how would I say thank you, and how would I acknowledge your acknowledgement of my work, and it made me think of my upbringing. I was raised in a very working class home here in Sudbury. My dad was an Inco guy. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. There were 5 of us. We were Catholics. So it's not hard to know where your work ethic and your sense of social justice come from when that's your household, because you never quite work hard enough and you are never really good enough because you're in constant need of forgiveness. That's what confession is for. So you grow up kind of with that message in your brain. But I had an experience about 20 years ago. I had a woman come into my life, and I wish she was here today. I met Evelyn Wolfe, who was an Anishinaabe, a woman who'd been an 11-year survivor of residential school at Chingwak. And Evelyn and I got working together and traveling together, and she was my most profound teacher. And she taught me about equity and justice and what it is to walk in the world with privilege that I have as a white, currently upper middle class woman. And she taught me what what life had been like for other people, and we explored that together in many, many avenues. And this work is hard, and I don't have to tell you folks that this work is hard because you do it every day. And every time that I think it's too hard, I think about Evelyn, and I think about what Shingwak did to her, and how she survived it, and how she survived and thrived in her adult life, having healed from that, and what she offered to me in her healing, and the guidance that she gave to me. So it really was an opportunity for me to figure out that there are ways in the world that we can work together and be together and include each other and think about each other and think about where each other came from, and that we didn't all have the same start in life, but that we do all deserve exactly the same respect and engagement and treatment and value and belonging. And so I've had a wonderful journey. And so to get this award now, because I'm retiring this year from paid work, I say, imagine what it'll be like to have no charitable status and no board of directors and no worry about people's funding. I say the first thing I'm going to have is a blog, and it's going to be called Janet Tells the Truth. But in a good way, always in a good way. I found that you move things much further when you can engage people in a good way. But I do think there's places where many of us would move forward in different ways if we didn't have restraints. So to have this award come at this time in my life, because I said the Catholic stuff is interesting, and you never quite feel like you're good enough, or like that you really are bad and people will figure out you're bad, right? And then God help you if you do something bad, because that lives forever in your mind. But to have other people stand up and say you did well is really, really, really important. And I can't thank you enough. And so to Dave Landers, who I know nominated me for this award, and to Catherine Matheson, who has been extremely supportive in all my years in doing this work. To those of you across the province who I've had the joy of working with, and to those of you from Sudbury, who in that light I can't see you, but put your hands up. Where's Vivian, Martin, and Louisa, and Laura? I see you. Just an incredible group of people who really have always been thinking about just what you're talking about in the conference. How do we move this forward? How do we think well about other people? And so I'm very, very grateful for all of you, and I will continue to work with all of you in my new role. And then I got so excited about Alex Spillato coming, because when you think about inclusion, and when you think about how we want to build the world, who gets that picture out of their head of Alex at the fence with his brother, clutching him in his arms and bringing him into the glory of a gold medal? And not because he thought it was cool or because he had to do it, because he absolutely loved his brother and knows his brother belongs in the midst just the same as every one of us. So deeply honored to be sharing a stage that you will come on, deeply honored to be recognized by all of you, deeply proud to have been associated with you, and deeply committed to continuing this work with you. We live in a province that just elected an openly gay woman and I think the woman part is almost more than the other, without even batting an eye. You know, that's where we've come. This morning in the Globe and Mail, there's a dozen stories of gay and lesbian refugees who've come to Ontario for safety. That's what we've become in Ontario and in Canada. We get to be very proud of that and know that we've contributed. So I want you all to keep up the very good work. I will be here at the cafe tomorrow. I'm excited about it. And I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.